Hi guys, welcome back. This is Suzanne Wachtel, Living Your Best Life. And today in the podcast, I really want to talk about adult children that are really abandoning, walking away, and never talking to their parents again. I have a couple of friends that's children. One is an only child. Two of them are only children, actually. And I saw them growing up, and the parents seemed like they were doing a great job. And, the children weren't denied anything, and maybe that's part of the problem. I'm not quite sure. But as adults, they've decided they want nothing to do with their mom and dad. I have a myriad of patients, wonderful people that, are educated, kind, loving. They really are in terrible pain. And I am a grief counselor, but to be quite honest, this is so much worse. No, I will take that back. It's not worse than grief, because grief and the loss of a child is so final and it's heart-wrenching, and there's nothing that you can do about it. It's just over, and you have to work through the grief. But when you're grieving a child that has rejected you and abandoned you, and it's a choice. And then when you try to find out what happened, can we talk about it? Can we reconcile? You're met with, do not talk to me anymore. And if you try to contact me or my family, I will call the police and have you arrested for harassment. Now, I can count eight parents that have had this experience. And these are people that have either worked with me or I know, and these are really nice people, kind people, attractive people, established people. These are not people that are, really like on drugs or mentally ill. And they really, not one of them knows why their daughter or son will not have anything to do with them anymore. I have one woman, her son is married, and she does not seem like a very loving, wonderful woman, because she really is very non-inclusive of my patient. And the son just decided to stop talking and having any gatherings or invitation towards his mother and brother. And so the hurt is so deep, especially if a family was very close. I have another friend whose son stopped talking to her little by little by little, and the wife really did not care for them. So I would imagine that the same alienation that is actually against the law when people get a divorce, you are not allowed to alienate one parent from the child. You can't talk badly about the other parent. And if it comes to the court, you can lose custody. So I would imagine if you marry somebody who really doesn't get along with your mom or your dad, mostly the moms, I would say, are the targets here, then it is common that little by little, that son who now is more invested in his new family with his own children and his wife start to become alienated. I can't imagine really, unless there was an assault or, being left out, let's say, of an inheritance or something that, the adult child felt was unfair. I really can't imagine without discussion why any adult would not want to have closure and a conversation with their parent. Now, I know when I was growing up, my mother was totally difficult. My husband, first husband, second, couldn't stand my mom. And my response was, I agree with you. I wouldn't choose her. And she is difficult and a pain in the ass. However, that is my mother, and I will have boundaries and respect yours and not include her all the time, but it is my mother, and I will be involved in her life and if she needs me, in her care. That's me. So for me, when I hear about these adults, we're talking people in their 30s, 40s, making a decision to alienate and not have anything to do with a parent without even an explanation or a discussion, it really is very confusing and, according to my values, not okay. At least if you're going to break up with a parent, tell them why. Give them a chance to make it right. Give them a chance to apologize. Give them a chance to come around. But just to cut them off just feels so cruel. And I will tell you, about 5 or 6 of my patients come in to see me, and that is what their heartache is. That is what their depression is about. And there's nothing that we can really do to help them except to discuss it, to find perhaps some reasons, and then to learn how to tolerate and cope with the fact that your own child has rejected you and abandoned you. And that is a large pill to swallow. So my point in making this podcast today was to let people know that are going through this experience, because it can be very shameful and hurtful, and when people are sitting around with their brag books about how great their kids are and how wonderful their grandchildren are, if you're one of those unfortunate people that have been dismissed by your child, it is so painful and it's so difficult to bring up as a topic because it does feel shameful. And I'm here to tell you, this is so common. It's become a new trend. It is shocking to me, and it is shocking to other people when they hear about this. But more and more and more, these millennials, I would say, if the parents screw up, or they don't like what they did, or they didn't buy them the house, or they nagged too much, or they didn't give them the money they thought they deserve, or they wanted to see them too much, or whatever it is, because we're making it up, we don't really know for sure, they're very easy to push that delete button. It is such a heartache. It is so against all laws of humanity to reject your parents. And I've never believed in tough love. Tough love, even I had a son, as we all know from previous podcasts, that had a drug issue. I could not even, when advised to, do the tough love, which was to reject, kick out, and remove love. So in some way, I found ways to at least stay in touch, communicate, help. I just didn't believe that rejecting someone was the way to deal with any situation, no matter what. Yeah, obviously, if they're dangerous, yes. But we're talking about mothers here, fathers, mostly mothers, that have done the best they can, that are not bad people, that I'm sure that if there was a conversation or an opportunity to resolve the conflict, they would be more than happy to do so. I have facilitated in my 25 years of practice families that, as time goes on, it becomes harder and harder to come back together. So I have facilitated families wanting to reconcile. In fact, my husband had a friend, he's since passed away, who had not seen or spoken to his dad in 35 years. And I facilitated a reunion right here in Boca Raton. And it was so heartfelt. And they really got to hug it out and talk about all the years that they missed in each other's lives. And in the end, were they as close as they could have been? Did they, resume an amazing relationship? No. But when each of them passed away a few years later, I believe that there was at least a little more closure and peace. So guys, if you're pissed off at your mom or your dad or your kids, don't alienate them. Don't reject them. Don't push the delete button, please. Call a therapist, call a meeting, go and talk to them. See if you can't work it out. There has to be another way besides cutting it off, rejection, and abandonment. It's not good for what you're teaching your children who are watching you do this to your parents. And sometimes the karma will be that your children do this to you and it becomes an ancestral bad habit, something that gets repeated through the generations, like when people don't talk to one another and they cut each other off in families. This too, this alienation is going to become, I believe, an epidemic as well. So please, guys, if you happen to catch this podcast, I'm begging you, if there's issues in your families, please try to resolve it. And if you can't, you can minimize contact and not spend a lot of time together, but don't cut people off. Life is too short. Well, I hope I've made an impression on, if one of you, I've made a difference. So good luck to all of you. And if you're the victim of being alienated, please know that you are not alone. And please give yourself some love and surround yourself with people that do love you and want you, and go where the honey is, because there's plenty of people that will appreciate you. Have a beautiful day, and I hope that this helped a little bit. Take care. Bye.